Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon TCG Pocket, where we are opening up more cards within a time frame of about 20 minutes. If you guys like these episodes, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, comment and share freely. Alright, what we got? Well, I positioned myself into the camera correctly. Alright, we're going to open up another 2 sets, and then after I will be blasting a bunch of strategy, um, uh, playing around with decks basically, until we get a pretty good one for through solo versus, and then maybe we'll get into some ranked battles. There we go. I think I like that. So you may shuffle this Pokemon and all cards detected. Yeah, I'm not feeling great still. I mean, it's like 5:40, so I'm an hour and 40 minutes late. Um, Whoop, I meant to read that. Oh well. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 80 minus damage from the attacks from your opponent. Oh, okay. Alright. Discard a stadium in play. Okay. Whoa, that's a good looking tantrum. If you have a few Pokemon in play, then your opponent, this card does 80 more damage. If your Pokemon have fewer Pokemon, if you have, alright, so if you have this, only this one, and basically your opponent has two on one on active, one on bench, then it does 80 more. Alright, cool. Scatter a random energy from among the energy attached to all Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Oh, so basically the same thing as the Mega one. Snapping Trap. Yeah, I just watched that episode of from Rising Hope. If this Pokemon is active spot when your opponent's active Pokemon. That's a lot of reading and trying to figure it out. And then we got Magmar. Slash. A pretty Auroras. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Interesting. Milo Pony. Refreshing tea. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may hand your opponent shuffle. You may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck for each remaining point that your opponent needs to win. They draw a card. I wonder how that would work, but that's why we do the solo versus, to kind of play out what they have in store with it. Power of the alchemy. Basic Pokemon in play. Both yours has no abilities. Okay. Sites of evolution. Put a random card that evolves from. Okay. So that would be a good Vivian deck right there. But we're going ahead. This attack does 30 more. Sand Slash. That's an old school Sand Slash there. Flip 3 coins. Attack does 30 damage for each head. Another Vivian. So we may go ahead and do a Vivian deck very soon. Let me steady the camera. Excuse me. It's just seems like it's getting worse. Like even the body aches hurt. I want to see what we got out of that for missions. Yeah, sure. Complete all. What deck? Okay. That's not Dex. Alright, no Dex. Of course, we didn't pull any EX cards, so. Nothing else, alright. Back to here again, pull another 10, and then we'll see for time. Oh, got 2 of them. Juggler. You can use this card only if Pokemon in play have 3 or more different types of energy attached. So, like a Dragonite. Move all energy from each of your benched Pokemon. Wait. If you use this card only if your Pokemon in play have 3 or more different energy attached. Move all energy from each of your bench Pokemon to your actual Pokemon. Okay, so this is for really Dragon types. Metal Core, which I still don't understand. Ooh. If your opponent has gotten exactly 1 point, this attack does 40 more damage. So, it's really a one stab, and make sure your opponent does not evolve further than that. Jaw Fossil. Auroras. Tyrantrum. I do like that artwork right there. That's pretty good. Come on. Oh, Magmar. Minimum. Okay, so should have some promise here. Family breakdown. Flip a coin for each Tan, Demas, and Moss hold. You have in play. This attack does 60 damage for each head. Sorry, my hand is cramping up. On the star, during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't attack. Okay. That's like a backup, really. But you need a Hex Fossil. H/, what we got? Number 10. Alright, so we didn't get much on this pull. But we're gaining. That's the good part. We only did like 4 pulls, or 4 10 packs. So, almost 120 out of 155. That's not bad. I need to definitely do some solo verses. Got a deck open. Ooh, we got a deck completed. Thank you, shinies. I didn't realize we got some Hex Fossils. I know we had Dome and Amber, but that'll be interesting. Oh, yeah, okay. That's for the Apex. Duh. Get some strong arms. Anything else? No. Yeah, I do a random match eventually. An event match eventually. Just not right now. I just want to work on the step-ups, really. We will go into here. There we go. On fire type. We'll just use our old decks. They'll give us some hourglasses and just kind of breeze us through the first couple places, and then yeah, really we need more hourglasses. I want to get at least 3 more 10 packs open. So we're going to be, I'll be doing a lot of videos pertaining to it. Hopefully we'll just be lucky. As you can see, I'm just doing auto. There's really no need to do anything else. Purpose of this is just to see what the the beginner and the great and the ultra. Well, the beginner and the greats are kind of cards that you wouldn't even use really. The ultra and the master, or the advanced and the master, would be the two sections that you would want to keep an eye out and try for yourself. I mean, this is a pretty good solid deck right here still. I should probably switch out Rapidash with a different fire type. Well, the Ponyta line. And it should finish that off. Nope. Alright, so just a heads up. I've been pretty sick for a whole week. So I'm not sure how it's going to happen for that whole week. I'll just be posting a bunch of TCG Pocket, um, and hopefully getting prepared for Pokemon Violet DLC. Yeah, we'll do one more. Grass type, we can do that. We'll do Super Bug or Super Grass. I hope to get, well, one, I want to get better, feeling better, and two, start doing morning streams every day again. But it really also depends on how I'm feeling. Like this morning, yeah, I got up like 11:30. I couldn't breathe, so I had to go downstairs and sleep in this chair. And though sleeping in the chair felt a lot better than the bed, I was still achy in pain, so sure, whoever was not happy that I left the bed, but not whoever, I wasn't able to stay put. My wife. That's the only person that. Anyways, I'm digging a bigger hole for myself, I guess. Um, Alright, almost done. A little strange that they have dragons. But they possibly didn't have another evolution with this, so. And, I mean, colorless, you don't need a certain energy. There we go. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, and we were also getting like 12. Uh, oh. So we no longer get hourglasses on these, okay? I did not know that. Huh. Well, that's new. Pokemon Company is making it a little difficult. Or, well, maybe not too difficult. The first one was 12. So, possibly they just gave us all of the hourglasses on that one sweep. Which would make sense. I'm gonna collect all these. Giant Keep I haven't got. Rocky Helmet was a hard one. And now we gotta do some versus bad matches. Well, anyways, if you guys like these episodes, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, comment, and share freely. I am going to try to rest as much as possible and try to, well, make it through this week, and hopefully next week we'll be going into Pokemon Violet DLC. I know I'm way behind, and I want to get that done before Pokemon Day, and it sounds like I may have to work on Pokemon Day, which really stinks, but we'll see. Um, until then, I will see you guys in the next either episode or stream. Have a good morning.